Hello guys, welcome back to the Brutal Investor channel. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. In this episode, we're going to talk about a relatively new cryptocurrency project that doesn't really have a market cap information on CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. And this project is called DeRace or the DERC token, right? Again, as always guys, I highly recommend you guys to do your own research on any of the projects that we cover on our channel. And for this project, I recommend you guys to go to the website derace.io in order to learn more about their project, right? So, since a lot of information about this token is not really available on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, I'm going to rely on their website in order to provide you with some of the peripheral information that will help you to understand this project so that you can do a deep dive before you invest in this token, right? So, right off the bat, DeRace is basically the virtual NFT horse racing platform. So we are setting a new standard for gaming and betting industries. DeRace is a complete NFT horse racing ecosystem where you can participate in horse races, breed NFT horses with unique characteristics, build your own NFT hippodrome, and make profit while doing it. So right off the bat, it is a NFT project just like many other NFT gaming projects, right? The main goal of this project is to bring horse racing to a decentralized gamified manner, right? So if you take horse racing, all you can basically do in horse racing is you can bet on a particular horse. You can as an audience basically kind of like vouch for a particular horse, bet on it, and if you win some money, and if you lose money, right? But if you are a horse breeder in real life, you basically have to ensure that you select the right breeds, you breed them properly, you feed them, you maintain them, and you train them for horse racing. And then if you're lucky, a bigger company may probably purchase the horse from you for a higher price, and so on and so forth, right? So there's a lot of real life steps that are extremely complicated, and which may need a lot of knowledge, technical skills, as well as a lot of initial investment for you to do something like participate in horse racing or even be a horse breeder yourself, right? If you take the concept of hippodromes are basically the stadiums where horse racing happens, right? So if you want to build a hippodrome yourself, again, you obviously know that you need to have a real land which is located in a suitably cheaper location, so that you can basically buy the land cheap. Or if you already want to purchase a hippodrome from someone else, you need to basically purchase it with an initial investment, do some renovations, make sure that it attracts a lot of audience. It's located in a location where people can easily navigate to, place advertising, and so on and so forth, right? So obviously the real world horse racing activity has a lot of moving parts, which a typical retail investor like you and I may not necessarily understand, and we don't necessarily have the background knowledge, right? But what DeRace aims to do is bring that entire system to the blockchain technology and make it as an NFT gamified platform where each horse is an NFT, right? So to put it into perspective, you can basically consider this as a more advanced version of CryptoKitties, right? So in CryptoKitties, which was one of the first and one of the most popular NFT-based gamification platforms back in 2017, CryptoKitties consists of kitties or kittens or cats or whatever you want to call them. They basically have multiple generations, and the earlier generations are most valuable because of their very unique traits, and you can breed some of the Gen 0 kitties to produce Gen 1, and then so on and so forth, and then the older the generation, the more valuable the kittens are, right? But applying the same concept here, instead of kitties or kittens, you basically have horses, and these horses have unique traits which you can breed and kind of produce newer horses with a different unique genetic trait, which can be sold to people who want to participate in racing. And as a retail investor, if you don't want to undergo all of these things, you can basically bet on those horses and then ensure that you bet on the right horse so that you can make money, right? Or if you don't want to go through all of these processes, and if you want to just become the stadium owner, you can become the hippodrome owner. You can own hippodromes or pool money with other people who want to build hippodromes or own hippodromes, and then ensure that anytime a race happens, you get a small share of the fees, right? So there's multiple ways by which you can make money, and that's basically what DeRace is aiming to do, right? So blockchain technology allows transparent horse racing outcomes, which makes betting on DeRace platform reliable and safe. DERC holders are the main stakeholders taking part in the decision-making process with regards to future features of DeRace platform. So why do this in the first place? If you're asking why is this even a thing right now, it's because of the fact that horse racing has notoriously been a controversial subject because of the betting aspect. And whenever you have betting, you have something known as match fixing, or you have things like fake betting, or simulated betting, where the bets are predetermined and therefore it skews a particular person from winning rather than the other people, right? So by making this entire system into a blockchain based gaming system, as you guys know, blockchain has a lot of benefits, such as lack of centralized authority managing systems, fully decentralized and fully permissionless. So these kind of technologies such as blockchain technology can easily make these systems more efficient, right? And thereby making this system entirely transparent and fully fair for everyone who's participating. And that's a huge deal for racing, and that's one of the big value proposition that DeRace is planning to bring in, right? And if you take their native token DERC, it's a token that will be used within the platform for various activities. And by holding the DERC token, you're basically a stakeholder in this platform, and you take part in the decision making process with regards to the future features of DeRace platform, right? So that's very important. So provable and transparent, creating new standard for gaming and betting. Unlike in the real world, all DeRace horse races and bets are proven by blockchain, provable RNG, leaving no room for a shadow of a doubt. So again, as I mentioned before, the blockchain aspect makes this extremely transparent, so no form of manipulation or predetermined betting can happen, right? So that's going to make this a very valuable platform to do a reliable betting on, and it's completely transparent thanks to blockchain technology, right? So community gain focused, become a bookkeeper with DeRace. Community controls the stake in their own hippodromes. Most gaming and gambling platforms focus solely on player losses, and DeRace is here to change that. So again, one other aspect of DeRace is that by holding the DERC token, you become a stakeholder, and you basically can manage hippodromes if you want to. As I mentioned, you can basically pool DERC tokens with other players who also want to own hippodromes, and they become investors along with yourself in a particular hippodrome if you manage to buy it. And any racing events that happen within that hippodrome will incur fees collection, and you will be entitled to a small portion of fees, which is a very lucrative income depending on how many matches happen, right? So that's another important thing. And also many gaming and blockchain based gambling platforms focus on players losing, so that the participants can kind of get an unfair deal, which is unfortunately sad in many games, but it is still true, because you can technically create a DApp or a gaming app that can be designed in such a way that you always lose, right? But DeRace claims that they are in a fully transparent and fair system, which will change that, right? So NFTs with a purpose, DeRace is breathing new life in the static NFT market, allowing players to fully interact with their DNA-enriched NFT horses and have total control over their hippodromes. In addition, an ETF will be issued which will act as a basket of many horses, generating cash flow and setting accurate price. So again, another key aspect of this platform is that they are mainly trying to make NFTs into a dynamic system, right? Of course, there are lots of gaming platforms such as Axie Infinity, Sandbox, Decentraland that also try to make their NFT based in-game items more dynamic rather than static, in a sense where you can actually use those NFTs within the game at least, and outside of the game you can actually sell them in marketplaces or trade them or do whatever you want with them, right? Similar to that, I think DeRace is also trying to make their horses, which are the NFTs in this platform, into a more dynamic NFT based gaming system rather than just holding a piece of art and then having it in your wallet and maybe even forgetting about it for months or even years, right? So instead of doing that, you can basically use your NFTs, which are horses, to earn income for you or even get a lucrative passive income for you on a regular basis, right? That's basically their main selling feature. And also, one important thing that they're planning to do is you may have multiple different horses, and you may have people who want to have a small portion of your horse, so that they can make a small income from what you are making, or even you can basically make a small passive income from someone else's exciting unique genetic horse that's performing well in all the races, right? So in order to give everyone an opportunity, they're trying to create a basket of all of these horses in the form of an ETF. Again, it's not necessarily an approved product from any government or regulatory body. It's just an internal term that they're using as a collection of multiple different horses with different traits that are either successful, or overall they capture the whole value of all the horses, right? So by having an ETF, you will basically be entitled to receiving a very small fraction of income, which could even be a passive income, and also be an active member of the community within the DeRace platform, right? So that's the most important value proposition in my opinion. So again, they have some of the images of horses, so features of DeRace. So there are lots of features that you have. Again, I don't want to cover everything in detail here. So if you see, this is their platform and this is how things will be. So you will have a kind of like a graphical horse with its own name, like Southern Phantom, which will have its own ID. So this is an NFT. Its origin will be mentioned here, its height, and the its performance statistics. Its other features will be mentioned on the left, and you can see it has multiple levels, and I believe the older the horse, the higher the value it would be, similar to CryptoKitties. And it has multiple genetic traits which it can be bred to kind of produce a newer trait, or you can basically use a newer trait to either sell it or participate in races and improve the level, right? So you have a lot of flexibility with that. So NFT horses, again, they have a cool visual graphical representation of the horses themselves, which will be used as the main in-game item. Horse breeding, which is also something that we already covered. You can basically breed horses with specific genetic traits to produce newer horses. Horse races, again, you can use your horses to participate in games, and maybe if your horse wins a race, you may probably be entitled to receiving a prize, right? So everything can be done in a fully gamified blockchain manner, right? So NFT hippodromes, again, NFT hippodromes are basically the stadiums where the races actually happen. Here they're talking about that. Horse betting, again, everything is transparent, and everything is fully automated by the algorithm, so nothing needs to be manual. In-game horse marketplaces, so within the game itself you can find marketplaces for buying and selling horses. Again, outside of the game you will still find marketplaces, but within the game you're more likely to find the best genetic quality horse that you want to successfully win races, right? So this is how the hippodromes would be. You can own a hippodrome. You can you can even customize your name. You can participate in races by betting on a particular hippodrome game, and so on and so forth, right? So they have lots of information presented in a very clean and high tech manner. World's first cash flow ETF, which is again one of the most important aspects of this game that will definitely become more popular, right? So by holding the ETF, you are definitely going to be entitled to receive a small cash flow, and that's going to be serving as a passive income opportunity, right? And the value of the ETF will also definitely increase, because as the horses perform well, since the ETF is covering multiple different horses, it's going to definitely grow in value in and of itself, which can become a tradable item within the game and outside of the game as well, right? So liquid, so the ETFs represent the basket of horses, or NFTs in this case, and therefore this ETF can be a token in and of itself, which can be traded on Uniswap or other platforms, right? So that's basically the main value proposition here. So 700 billion market revolutions, again, they are basically kind of like trying to capture a small slither of the $700 billion in market valuation of the traditional horse racing and betting and gambling ecosystem, which I think there's a high chance that this game can definitely capture that. It's only going to be a matter of time before people start noticing the true value of DeRace, right? So again, here they are mentioning some of the other features as well, and some of the advantages of using DeRace. The DeRace team, so now you can clearly see that the team behind DeRace have their own social media as well as LinkedIn profile, where you can trace some of their previous projects or some of their current projects and new ongoing projects, which is going to be a pretty interesting part of your do your own research project. So they have roadmaps as well, so that's basically planning to kind of like launched the IDO, which again happened on, I believe, DAO Maker, and it's all I think the SHO offering on DAO Maker is complete. You can basically pre-order NFTs during the Q3, which is the current phase that we are at right now. They'll be basically releasing all 3D models of horses, early access for testers, and smart contracts interaction setup. So by implementing smart contract interactions, they're basically making the system fully complete and much more user friendly, right? In Q4, they plan to test beta launch, NFT horse breeding launch. You can start breeding your horses from Q4. Breeding smart contracts will be available from Q4, which is a very important aspect of breeding. Launch of animated races, which will be really cool. You can basically screenshot these races or even download footage from these animated races, which will be a cool souvenir in and of itself, and wallet integration as well, right? So there's a lot of exciting things that's happening in Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4 of 2022 as well. You can read that from their website, right? So here they're talking about the DERC economy. So again, as we discussed before, by having DERC, you can stake, you can buy horses, you can buy hippodromes, you can basically participate in the marketplace. You can pretty much do a lot of things within the platform through the DERC, right, token. And this token is going to serve as the main token of the ecosystem, and you can see how it's distributed. So about 28% of the token is private run and 6% is public run, 15% for marketing, 25% for liquidity, 10% for the team members, 5% for advisors, and 11% for development. So a fairly equitable distribution. If you want to look at the full token metrics, you can click on this link and access that. So again, you have all the other information as well. The team that backs this project is basically DAO Maker. Again, DAO Maker had a recent SHO of this platform, of this token, and I think they made some significant amount of money for the project. And DAO Maker obviously is a very good platform that allows for high quality projects to launch. And you also have AU21 Capital, Animoca Brands, LP Capital. So several venture capitals and partnerships are kind of like made by DeRace, and you can find the list here. So community join DeRace. So if you want to join their community and subscribe to the newsletter and to get up-to-date information, you can do that here, and also read through their white paper and other access their other social media information as well, right? So again, a pretty wholesome project which aims to do something unique that the real world is kind of like struggling with, especially with transparency in betting, which the real world is definitely struggling with for horse racing. And if they keep up in the right direction and try to create a lot of attention around their project, I think they'll be able to capture a huge market share from the $700 billion real life horsing industry, right? But it's still definitely going to take some time because it's still in the early stages, right? So going back to the CoinGecko page for DeRace, this token is currently ranked with no ranking at the time of making this video, which is that new. So if you're getting into this token at this stage, you're basically getting it at a very early stage, right? And this token is currently traded at 54 cents at the time of making this video, with a 3% decrease in the past 24 hours. And the market cap information is unavailable. I strongly believe that the market cap is less than $100 million in market cap. I wouldn't even be surprised if this token is less than $50 million in market cap, right? And if you see, the total supply is about 120 million tokens, so it's a fairly equitable number of tokens. And since this token is going to power the entire DeRace ecosystem, the $120 million tokens is a relatively low number compared to several other projects, right? So that shows that the token is going to eventually become extremely scarce as the project starts picking up and as people start using this platform. And that's going to be really good price appreciation for this token, right? And if you take the charts themselves, you can clearly see that the token has been general declining trend. The token was initially worth 59 cents August 3rd. Again, it's a very new project, so you're still in the ground level of this project. So if you're buying this token, again, not financial advice, you're basically buying this way before the general public has even started noticing this project, right? So that's going to be something that you need to keep in mind. But immediately after its listing, the token obviously shot up. People usually sell their tokens after they receive the tokens from DAO Maker, and the token reached an all-time high of 91 cents, which I do believe is not a proper all-time high. This token is yet to make a proper all-time high, but we can, for the purpose of this video, we can consider that this is the all-time highs, right? So 91 cents was the all-time highs, and it immediately declined in price point, and since then it reached an all-time lows of about 47 cents per token, but it kind of mildly recovered, and now it's still going in the downward trajectory, right? You can clearly see that this is a really good price point for dollar cost averaging for people who feel like this token is a good opportunity to buy. But if you wait longer, you can probably get this token for less than 47 cents, or even somewhere between 45 to 47 cents range, right? Which is also good, but this price is also a good price to buy in if you want a dollar cost average in, right? If you see, since you are using CoinGecko, you can see the price chart on Bitcoin comparative as well as Ether comparative as well. So the token price was initially worth 1,558 Satoshis per token on August 3rd, and it went to make an all-time highs of about 2,300 Satoshis, and since then it's been on a decline, and now it's currently close to its all-time lows of about 1,200 Satoshis. So if you're buying this with Bitcoin comparative, you'll probably get a much better value compared to dollar comparative, right? If you see the Ether comparative, you can clearly see that the token is pretty similar, where the price of one token is worth about 23,000 GUE. It reached an all-time high immediately after its launch at about 36,000 GUE, and now it's again in the Ether comparative as well. It's at pretty much an all-time lows, being worth about 17,900 GUE at the time of making this video, which means when it comes to which currency is the best currency to buy this token at right now, Ether and Bitcoin are the best currencies to buy this token because it's pretty much at its all-time lows. Dollar comparative is probably the the least best opportunity to buy, because I think the token price in the dollar comparator can go even lower, right? But if you're buying it with some spare ether or some spare satoshis or even a full Bitcoin, obviously after doing your own research, then these price points are really good price points to get this token in, right? So if you take the markets where it's available, this token is not really available in a lot of centralized exchanges, so you're pretty much in at a very early stage, even before a centralized exchange such as MXC or Gate.io can even list this token, which means if you grab this token on PancakeSwap, where this token is available as a BEP20 token with very low fees, you can basically buy this token from PancakeSwap, hold it in your wallet. Once a centralized exchange such as Gate.io lists it, there'll be a price spike where you can either sell it for short-term gains or hodl it till some bigger exchanges start listing this token. I think this token can easily get listed on KuCoin and OKEX, because those are some of the exchanges that usually list tokens at a pretty rapid phase, and they also are some of the most popular exchanges as well. So once those exchanges start getting this token listed, you can expect this token to go up in value, and you can make a quick buck if you want to hold it for short term. But if you're a really strong believer of this project, then I think holding it for long term is not a bad idea as well. But pretty much you can get it from Uniswap and PancakeSwap. And again, I think I misspoke. You can get it from Gate.io, but you can't get it from other centralized exchanges, right? You can get it from Gate.io, but you can't get it from MXC or other tier 3 or tier 2 exchanges. But by the time you get it from other exchanges, the token price will start, exploding, right? So what's my final verdict on this token? I'm personally impressed with this kind of project. I think this is a innovation that is definitely going to change the way we see real life horse racing. I think this project will get a lot of traction sometime in the future, although it will struggle initially. I think there's a lot of potential for this token to perform well. So I'm going to grab a decent bag of this token by getting it from PancakeSwap. You can also get it from Gate.io if you want with USDT, but if you want to get it from Uniswap, then bear in mind that the gas fees are extremely high, right? So if you want to get this token from PancakeSwap and hodl it in PancakeSwap, or transfer it to a centralized exchange as more centralized exchanges starts listing it, then that's up to you. But I think this token price can easily go up to like $1 or even $1.50 in a couple of months as more and more exchanges start listing it. But I think the long-term price potential for this token would be somewhere between $3 to $5 per token, right? Depending on how many people start realizing this, the full potential of this project. And in the extreme long case scenario, I think this token can easily reach $7 to $10 range per token, right? So again, that's just my prediction, guys. Again, remember guys, you guys are not regular investors, you guys are brutal investors, so stay brutal. Thank you very much for watching my video, guys. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. See you in my next video. Bye.